Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. I am Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Ready to Love Season 4.
You forgot.
I was about to say Season 12, but it's Episode 12.
Season 4.
Season 4, Episode 12, Ready to Love. This episode is titled, I Choose You.
I chose you. You chose me. We chose we. Go ahead.
If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay.
Ready.
I said we were going to start at the ending, but I kind of don't see. I guess we can. This is the season finale.
Yeah.
So we get 2 weeks of reunion after this. So go through the couples in order. AJ and Kyra did not choose each other.
They did not. AJ chose her though.
Yeah.
Why laugh?
I don't know why you laugh.
Why laugh?
I don't know why. Let's dig into that a little bit. Why did you laugh?
I don't know. I just find it funny.
What did you find funny?
I found that this whole time Kyra basically said, "I'm not sure yet." Like she was like, I don't want to be. What she say? I don't know if I know you enough to be your girlfriend or something like that. And I just laughed because AJ probably thinking to himself like, this wouldn't have panned out this way if I'd have chose Alexis.
She would have been like, I choose you, baby.
Right. We in this together.
I was thinking about the song. Joelle and Vernisha, they chose each other. And the word baby was said a lot this episode.
Man, was it not? That baby. Butter baby.
BB baby. Butter baby. Vernisha baby.
That baby.
That baby. The baby. I got babies.
Little baby.
And then you have Amber and Chris who chose each other.
Yeah.
And then Liz and Jason chose each other.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go and break down these family dates.
These family dates.
So Vernisha had Joelle meet her. And I think Vernisha might be the only person who I paid attention to who she had.
That's the one I missed.
Oh, okay. Because you weren't in the room.
Yeah.
Vernisha had her stepdad, her mom, and her oldest daughter meet Joelle. Her mama just started out and was like, are you the right man? And what are your intentions? I'm just going to start by saying, I hate that question.
What are your intentions?
I hate that. That burns me up on the inside.
Man, you know what? Nobody ever answers that question. I feel like, honestly.
Well, most of the time, the people that are being asked, what are your intentions, are at a very early stage in the relationship. Yeah. So the intention is to get to know the person to see how this thing is going to go. Nobody asks what are your intentions when you get married because they know your intentions. That's to get married.
Right. To take care of this woman here.
But it's just like
this baby here.
It bothers me because your intention should be to get to know this person. All the other stuff that's convoluted in the answer that people think they want to hear is not the answer.
Right.
It's like, ask me a question that you specifically want to know the answer to. Do you think I'm trying to have sex with this person? Do you think that I'm trying to lead them astray? Like, what do you want to know from me? But what are your intentions? Just, it burns me up on the inside.
Yeah. No, I get that, man. I don't think I ever asked anybody what's their intentions for anything. Because I don't care what their intentions are most of the time.
I've never asked it in a dating situation. Like, what were your intentions of what was your intentional outcome of what you were working on? Like, kind of like the conversation we were having earlier today with the guy out waving the sign on the street.
Yeah,
what is your end game? Like, what is your intention for that? But that's not like a relationship. That's just like, what what are you hoping to gain from this situation? And I just don't feel like relationships should be, what am I hoping to gain? It should be more so of, how much of myself am I willing to put into this?
But most people should realize that, like, at the beginning of every relationship, all we're trying to do is see where this thing goes. Mm-hmm. I enjoy her. She enjoys me. Mm-hmm. Let's see how long can we enjoy each other.
Right.
And then once we stop enjoying each other, let's see how we pivot to continue to enjoy each other.
Or realize that we shouldn't be enjoying each other at all.
Right. And go our separate ways.
Exactly.
That's
Anywho, off my soapbox.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
So her dad, who she calls Pops, is funny. He asks, are you going to be able to deal with her attitude? Joelle was basically like, yeah. I've dealt with her attitude before. And her daughter asks, are you ready to be a father figure to 3 more children? And he said, yeah. So he then turned around and asked them, how do you feel about they asked him, how did he feel about introducing his kids to a new woman? And he said, essentially, he's ready for it. And her dad said something. My stepdad would never say this, like verbatim like this, but essentially the same thing. Family is family. We love the kids. If you come here, you're family.
Yeah.
And like, I really did feel that from them. They're like, Bernicia has gone through a lot of things. We just want to make sure that what you're trying to do with her is actually like love her and nurture her, and not just be somebody that we gonna not be talking about in 6 months.
Yeah. But nobody knows the answer to that. Nobody knows if this person is going to be talking to this person tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or the day after that. They could just ghost them.
Yeah. Because people have big lavish weddings and then don't end up together.
Yeah.
All right. So next we saw Liz and her family, her sisters, Terry and Janice, and her brother, Johnny. Tommy had to help me out with their names. They were going to meet up with Jason. So one of the things that stuck out to me in this interaction was when she sat down at the table and was talking to them, she said, don't scare the boy. And I was like, he can't be a man. You know that there's a noticeable age gap. And I don't mean like true number age gap, but a maturity level age gap. Yeah. And I felt like you just pointed it out by saying, don't scare the boy instead of don't scare that man, because man rolls off the tongue when I'm talking about men and not boy.
I'd heard it, but I didn't think nothing about it. I just think that's just how, she talks with her siblings. It goes back to a when we were kids type thing, I don't know. I just didn't think hard about it. I heard it, and then you pointed it out, and I was like, I see where you're going with that.
I felt the way.
But it's the relationship feel for them. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, even the people in the comments, said that they feel like they're so far apart, but they're only 4 years apart.
4 or 5.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years apart. And that's not a lot.
Yeah.
But it just feels that way because, you have Jason, who seems to be...
Jason feels like my age. I feel youthful.
Yeah, right.
Liz feels like a woman, like a grown woman who should be thinking about other things than what I'm thinking about. Yeah. Not to say that I am not a woman and an adult, but I still feel like I have a youthfulness.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling Liz old before y'all start.
You are calling Liz old.
I'm not calling her old. I just don't feel
You're calling her older.
Yeah, she's older than me.
You feel like she's a cougar?
A little bit.
A baby cougar.
And I have a cousin whose husband is 11 years younger than her. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't feel the 11 years between the two of them.
I get you.
But I feel it between Liz and Jason.
I get you. But that's where that's why the boy thing stood. Don't scare the boy, Mm-hmm. But anyway. Yeah. I didn't get much out of their conversations either.
Let me see that I write anything else. Oh, he prayed over the food when they sat down, and then they asked him his favorite scripture, and they was like, he's a praying man.
I was like, if they
he became
asked,
a man then.
Yeah, right. I was like, if they ask me what's my favorite scripture, I have to look it up.
Would you be able to quote it?
No.
Oh, Lord. Well, it ain't your favorite then.
It's my favorite. I could paraphrase it. But
what you gonna say? What a man robbed God?
Man.
No,
I wouldn't say that.
You're not gonna tell us what it is.
No, I'm not. Because I have to read it and all this and everything else, man. You got to get stuff right when it comes to the Bible. Because people going to be like checking you. That ain't what it say.
What version you read?
Right, what version you read from.
All right, so Amber is then introduced to Chris's brothers, Keeson and Keenan.
That was his name.
What, Keeson?
Yeah.
Keenan basically was like, are you crazy?
Right.
I couldn't think of I couldn't remember the exact sentence or the exact question that he asked her. So I was just like, he basically said, are you crazy?
Yeah, he asked her, like, why are you single, basically? Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
And that's another question is be like,
that's another one of those questions. It's like, I just haven't found the right person yet.
It's not even that I haven't found the right person yet. Like, maybe, just maybe, I wasn't trying to be single. And I was trying to be single. And now this is the opportunity that I'm taking tonight.
Yeah.
And so he also asked her, was it real? And she said, yes, it's a process, and they're being very transparent with each other. And essentially, Keenan was like, we're trying to make sure that you're not Naya 2.0. Mm-hmm. I wonder how Naya feels about that.
She probably, honestly, was like taken back from that comment. Because it was already a heated kind of battle because she was like, he was trying to defend himself, and she was like, no, that's not what I said, or something. She was trying to clean up or something like that. I can't remember all the way, but he seems to be happy. Amber answered those questions genuinely, and for the most part, they was just trying to figure out what she was like. Is it real what they have, or is this just a part of the show? And I feel like the questions was just a part of the show.
Yeah.
Like, like we're asking this because he asked us to be on the show, and production
gave me a list of a list of questions on index cards, and was like, make sure you hit at least 3 of these.
Because I feel like, honestly, man, the intentions question, are you serious about this question? When we meet a new person, that's not how the conversation goes.
Depending on the setting in which I meet someone in my family's new person, I attempt to get to know them before I start asking any questions about anything. Like, I don't really care how y'all met. Mm-hmm. I'm like, name. Hey, how you doing? Like, most of the time you meet people in like a home setting. Right. So as a Southerner, we ask the question of, are you hungry? You want something to drink?
Yeah.
And we feel you out from there. And something about your response will give us a follow-up. Mm-hmm. And then we can get to know each other. I've not had to meet anyone new out in a really long time. I think the last person that I met like in a like restaurant setting of a family members was my stepbrother had a new girlfriend a long time ago, and like meeting her, and we didn't even get to know her during that interaction because it was too much going on. Like, all the grandkids were at the table. It was just a lot going on. And it's like, now's not the time to know anything beyond your name. Right. And is everything on your plate right? Because I'm about to order something else. So I want to make sure I won't need to send them back for you. Right. But that's pretty much it. Like, I don't know. I guess there's nothing organic about this sit down, and there's not a way to make it organic. Yeah. Because everybody in your family not going to agree to film it because somebody heard not done. Right. Or something.
It's always going to be something. But most of the time, it's like when you're meeting somebody new, it's not those questions you're not going to ask.
Right.
So
then we had Kyra and her mom and her best friend meet AJ. I don't remember which one of them started this questioning. I think it was the best friend, but she was like, what do you think Kyra wants? And I think that after watching 12 weeks of this season, Kyra doesn't know what Kyra wants. Wow. And that's not necessarily a negative thing because everybody says you learn something about yourself throughout this experience. And maybe she thought she wanted one thing and realized that that's not at all what she wants. And it's kind of like you don't realize what you want until you're presented with it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, wait, I really did not want that.
I think a lot of Kyra's confusion, and this is just me pulling something out of a hat, so don't like take it for fact or anything like that. But I think a thing that Kyra could possibly, the reason why it's so, I'm not sure because she still wasn't sure on Jason until Jason was sure on Liz.
Yeah, so he was like, nah,
I'm good.
I'm over here.
Yeah. So she was still kind of wishy-washy with that. Is Kyra's a lawyer, right? It could be a thing of, is this person good enough for me and my career?
It could be.
It could possibly be like she's probably weighing a lot of things, which that's something me and you talked about in the podcast once before about marrying up. You know, and essentially, man, I mean, somebody marries Kyra, is, you know, unless they're a lawyer or something like that. You know, take it for Jason's situation. Jason would be marrying up if he married Kyra. I think a teacher versus a lawyer. But as far as like careers, but as people, I think, you know, that's what you need to focus in on. And I think Kyra's having a hard time with that because she's thinking about so many other things as far as like how it looks and stuff like that. So
I just had a sidebar thought about Kyra. What is interesting is that Jason asked Kyra's ex about her and her finances. But Kyra was about to end up with a man that couldn't afford to pay for a date.
It wasn't that he couldn't afford it.
He said
he didn't have the right card.
Allegedly.
That's all I can go off
his
of.
Mama
is what he
got
said.
In his tail about that one.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I don't know. I get what you're saying.
And like I said, I'm just throwing that out of the hat, man.
No, so. I completely get what you're saying. I'm not sure if that is the thing.
It's probably not.
I don't know what it is because, like, I remember Edwin's speech when he was leaving on last season. He was like, you learn so much about yourself. Yeah. And I'm wondering, is it that she went through a lot of self-reflection? And through that self-reflection, it was kind of like, I'm settling, or...
Yeah, that's the word. That's the key word. I think she's feeling like she's settling or not, or battling with that. That's the key word.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, again, I'm going to say I don't know again. So they asked AJ, was he fun? What is his response to conflict? And then what would the next step be with Kyra? And he couldn't answer that. And she said that was what made her unsure of him, was because you should know what the next steps are beyond this if this goes well. So then we see Chris meet up with Amber's brother and was that her sisters? Both of them were her sisters?
I think. I'm not too sure on Amber's part.
I missed some of this interaction, but they asked Chris how many relationships or how many serious relationships he had been in, and he said 4. And they basically were asking him follow-up questions about that and about making sure that, you know, he understands that Amber can be a workaholic and making sure that, you know, she doesn't work herself too hard and things of that nature.
I think Chris's response to how would he help her not work, so like become indulged in her work. I think the response was a great, like he gave great answers to every question that they asked.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like, you know, he complimented her, he's there for her and stuff like that. But he was like, I'm going to make sure that she doesn't work, like get depressed because of work and stuff like that. And then I think it's important for people in relationships and friends. Like, let's just break it down to friendships. I think it's important that friends make sure that other friends aren't getting in a space to where it's mentally draining to them. You know, their work or stuff like that. Friends need to be able to step in and say, hey, let's do something else. Or, hey, let's go do this. Or, hey, I just want to come over and say hey to you and just hang out a little bit.
Yeah, and I will definitely say that the pandemic had made that a lot harder.
Right.
For people to be able to step in and realize that you're drowning.
Yeah.
And that you do need somebody to be the ship. And I say the ship because relationship, friendship.
Right. Yeah.
Like you need somebody to be the ship to pull you back up, because sometimes you just.
Right. Exactly.
You are drowning and you don't realize you're drowning until it's too late.
Right. And I felt like that was a good answer. And I like that answer because, you know, like you said, the pandemic and everything like that. But, yeah, that was a solid answer, man. Like you can't beat that. But it like just we need that in our lives because it's so easy to get caught up on work, caught up on things that, you know, needs to shut off. You know, so
next up was an interaction that I missed the majority of. Like after the introductions, I missed it. But this is where all the babies come in. Because Joelle introduced Vernisha to BB Baby and Butter Baby.
And Butter Baby, which Butter Baby is BB Baby's daughter.
So it's his sister and his niece, who apparently are very involved in his kids' lives since his wife is no longer with us.
One of the first questions were asked was, well, basically, BB was like, I'm territorial.
Vernisha said, me too.
Right. And I was like, Joelle, you had a problem when she said that when she met your friends. You know, it was kind of like you was turned off from that. But I think Joelle's emotions as far as like their outside things runs into a lot of his decision making of at that time. But the conversations between the families at that point were like 2-3 questions. They're out, you know, because I think they asked her one question or something like that, something about the kids. Okay. Like she had kids and it's going to be 5 kids and she's ready for that. And she explained to them that, hey, she's raised more than her kids, you know, saying that she's been in a relationship with men that had kids and she treated them like they were hers.
Well, all of my friends that have more than, or not friends, but like people I know that have more than 2 kids are all like, if you got more than 2, you can take on 10.
Yeah.
Like there's really no difference once you go above 2.
Right.
Like 3 kids is like 5 kids is like 7 kids. Everybody needs to sit down and shut up when I say do it. That's pretty much it.
Right.
Y'all go play.
Right, go play. No, but after Vernisha left, BB and Butter, it's so funny, man, that they call it. It's like it's the cutest name when she's little. But now that she's grown, they still call her Butter. It's like
Butter Baby.
Butter Baby. But they asked Joelle if he liked her and stuff like that. He was like, yeah. But a concern was, I think they was like, she likes him too much, too fast. Yeah. They was like, they think she likes him too much. But then Butter brought up the fact that his ex-wife, that's how it was for him and his ex-wife in the beginning.
I think that Joel is a smooth talker.
Oh, for sure.
And he can elicit that type of response out of women that he is interested in.
Yeah.
He can make them butter in his hands because of the way that he is. Yeah. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I don't know his track record with women or, what happened in the past with, him getting into the relationship with his ex-wife or any women thereafter or before. But when you look at it from that standpoint, I've always heard that you get with somebody that likes you more than you like them.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe that's just how he operates.
Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting to see, on the reunion where they end up at. So.
Yeah. So next we see Jason and he introduces Liz to his mom. Jason's mom starts out jumping right into money. Jason and his mama talk about money. And Liz basically gave an answer. She was like, I done boiled water to take a bath and I've been in abundance. I ain't scared of either one of them, but I don't want to go back to broke.
Right.
And then his mom asks Liz, how can you lead him without him knowing that he is being led? And I was like, that's the $1 million question. Because I feel like at some point, everybody in a relationship has to do that. It's just one of those things. She said she got her ways. I believe her.
Yeah, I mean, they like people gotta understand that, man. These folks just getting together. Like at this point, they've probably known each other for a month.
So I was watching a video because I try not to watch too many videos of like that the cast of these shows do, but it was for last episode, and they said that the filming started in January and it commenced in March, and then they had a break, and then they filmed the reunion in April.
Yeah,
but during the midst of that filming, they also had to stop production because of the winter storms that rolled through Texas, and they basically all had to get on the other side of the power grid going out and everything else that happened. So at best, these people have known each other for 2.5 months.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know what type of phone conversations and hanging out everybody was doing, because everybody on the cast seems to like have gotten a homie and they're BFFs now. Cause like we see Renisha and Kyra just about every week. We had Chrysanthemum and Stacy during the filming. Dietrich is just like hanging out with everybody. So, you see all these people getting together and you're like, yeah, this was a very short interaction and they had to get to this point. So this is like probably 2-3 weeks of like hardcore I'm for you, you for me. No, they don't know each other.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get why. It's kind of like the thing when Amber met up with Chris's friends and they were like, have you told your family or your friends about him? And it's like, no.
Yeah, right.
We've known each other for 3 weeks. Like, no.
That's
my family don't even know I'm doing this show.
Yeah, but said all that to say.
I don't even remember where I was.
I know you don't, man.
Jason and Liz.
I forgot what the thing was.
I found
after you went around the world and everything.
Jason and Liz.
I know that part. No, the can you lead part, man. Yeah, that's a learned skill. It's a learned thing. So it's like I don't know how she could answer that question. Like, because if somebody asked me that question, I would not know how to answer. I would be just like, we do our thing, and
make it do what it does.
Yeah, we just see what happens.
So I think that was the ending. Oh no, one more. AJ introduced Kyra to his mom. She asked her, what intrigues my son about you? And then she basically was like, I want a grandbaby. And we found out AJ's name is Ashlyn.
Yep.
And Kyra basically let mom know that there had been a previous interaction with the two of them going out on a date, and he was broke, and mama was like, Mm-hmm. And I mean, at that point, I was like, mama's on your side.
She was like, it's a no for me.
Mom was like, I raised you better than that.
Right.
And it's interesting to see them with their parents, especially the guys, like being with their moms.
Yeah.
For the ones that did have their moms come on. Like, I think it's always nice to see the mother-son relationship.
Yeah.
But I thought at that moment that Kyra was going to be like, yeah, me and AJ can do this. And then when she walked in and was like, I have some concerns in her confessional, I was like, all right, so they not gonna make it.
They ain't gonna make it. Kyra don't know.
All right, so essentially, after that interaction, AJ and Kyra met up. He was playing the piano and he said he wrote her a song called I Choose You. And she also told him that she did not choose him.
Yeah.
Then Joel and Venetia met up. He chose her. They picked each other. Amber and Chris, he called her a goddess and said they choose each other. And then Liz got white roses. It wasn't a single one this time.
No, it was a bouquet.
Got looked like a dozen roses from Jason. Liz got a dozen roses from Jason. And, you know, they choose each other.
Yep. And that was the end of the show.
Next week.
Right.
I'm wondering if these couples are going to make it, if they're actually going to try to foster and nurture these relationships. I wonder if how do we as the reviewers impact their decisions on things? Like, I know they don't see it in real time, but, you know, like after everything folds and they feel the need to defend themselves from things. Like, I always think that that's interesting because we see a lot of them being interviewed on different channels. And it's like, you have to go on a I'm defending myself campaign when you show a less than stellar side of yourself. Yeah. Or in Kyra's case, where she became the villain in an episode that she honestly didn't do anything wrong in my opinion. Some of y'all might argue with me. Do it amongst yourselves in the comment section. But I don't feel like she did anything in particular wrong.
Yeah.
Like, she chose herself.
Right.
And I never fault someone for doing that. You got any predictions on these three couples?
I think Chris and Amber are still together.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to play it safe. I don't know about Joy and Venetia. Hopefully they are. And, I forgot about Liz and Jason. Hopefully Liz and Jason are, but I'm not sure.
Realistically, though, who do you think?
I think Chris and Amber, realistically, I think them two are together.
I can see that. You think he's still practicing semen retention?
Nah. I do not think that. No, he's not. He's not. He said that because it sounded good on TV. And he might have been at that time, but yeah, being with Amber, he's not.
Amber was
like, I am not about that life. So
I'm trying to see if he do what he does.
Right. And when they do it.
I does it.
Right, exactly. That's what she about. So
all right, y'all. Please comment down below. Let us know who you think is going to stay together out of those three couples. And also,
but I do hope they all are together. So
also, we see that there's a little beef next week between Kyra and Alexis, and we know it doesn't go far because Kyra and Alexis was just on live with each other the other day at Venetia's house. So I'm gonna assume that nothing is going on there as far as a beef is concerned. But I'm interested to see what Alexis felt in that moment the beef was about.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Peace.